Hey, how we doing today? It's a beautiful snowy day here in the Detroit area in Michigan. We're getting nine inches, something like that. So I wanted to make this quick video. God versus ego. The false self, ordinary mind, universal mind. Oops, sorry, I got those mixed up. The false self, the ego beast, versus the higher self, the true self, ordinary mind, or universal mind. Okay? So everyone's stuck in the lower mind, the ego. Now, when you, as you practice honest, impartial self-observation, typically 2 weeks or less, you really start to see how the thinking part of our mind, which is the false self and the ego, is creating all of our suffering. And very quickly you notice how deceptive it is, how greedy it is, how selfish it is, how destructive it is. And as you see it in you, you see how it's creating all the bullshit and suffering in other people. Okay? Now, in religious texts we have a term for Satan, the devil. The false self fits the bill perfectly in that it is cunningly deceptive and it tempts you like mad, and it is totally self-destructive. Now, me telling you that does no good. However, what I do is I give you the technique to practice, a simple technique of honest, impartial self-observation, so you can see it within yourself, and then you know. Okay? I mean, try to tell a blind man that's been blind all his life what the color purple is. It's impossible. Okay? And everyone is walking through life in the false self, and they're blind. They miss everything in front of them all day, every day, pretty much. So, give the blind man sight and put purple in front of him, and whew, he knows. So that's what I do. I give you the techniques, and with the exception of the few therapeutic techniques where I need to work with people one-on-one, and this is valuable for several things. Speeding up the spiritual growth, getting rid of some of the bullshit inside very quickly, moving through things very quickly, as well as people that work with me get to experience the magic and miraculous of the universe. So anytime you work with an adept teacher, that's just going to happen, because it happens with the teacher, and it's like contagious, basically. So now, that's the false self right there. That's what people in the false self are doing. They're from that mentality of me versus you, right? They don't think me versus God. They think God's on my side. Well, that's just not the way it is. Again, you need to discover these things within yourself. So, now God stands before us 24/7, always. Always there in the moment. The Force, as described in Star Wars, at least in the first 3 movies that were made, is God. That which is called God. The Force is real. It surrounds us. And it's impersonal. And we can access it and be in it. And I mean, there's just nothing more cool than being able to shut this thing off. Once you do that, you got peace. That's all peace is shutting this thing up. How can you worry if this thing isn't? You can't. So you got peace. And then, because you're not thinking, you're aware in the moment, and there's force, that which is called God. So you get to literally hang out with God all day. So who wins? God versus ego. No, in the for people that are stuck in ego, when they think they win, they've lost. They always lose, because it's just the dualistic illusion that ego creates of right and wrong, good and bad, winning and losing. For the mystic, he always wins, because he's always blissing out in the moment. And he especially wins when it appears that he loses, because the experiences that challenge him emotionally, he uses those to take that suffering and use it as a means to its own end, and he becomes more powerful than can possibly be imagined. So there you go. Have an awesome day.